I wanna paint and play music today. Cause it gives me a joyful feeling, and I want everyone to feel this way. Hello. Today I am going to paint something from memory. I'm painting a small rock island that I saw in a photograph. It looked like it was somewhere up in the Pacific Northwest coast, probably Oregon. This was a rock, and it wasn't far out at sea. It was close to the shore, and there were cliffs on the shore. But the rock was a tall spire, or a moro, and it had trees growing out the top of it, and there was some ocean below. And I don't have the picture, so I'm just gonna paint what I remember, and I'm gonna make it up. But I like the image of a rock with trees, because a rock can be an island, and it can provide strength for the trees, but it can stand on its own. So let's start painting. I'm using my Arches paper, as always. And I'm going to jump right into it without a real plan. So I'm going to start, instead of using a pencil, I'm going to sketch out the rock with paint. Rocks have many colors in them. This one is going to have lots. And then the ocean is going to be behind it, like I said. To give an idea. And then I think behind there is the cliffs. Cliffs will be back here. Yeah, these will be the cliffs. So now, with filling in the colors, I'm going to start with sky. And I want this to be a gloomy-ish, moody-ish day. So it's not going to be crystal blue sky. It's going to be up some of these other colors as I do this sky, and I'm going to add a little bit of this darkness. The kind of painting I'm doing today is layering, so I don't want to start too dark. And who says you can't put brown in the sky? If you stare at the sky long enough, you'll see that the sky holds all colors. It holds no prejudice, holds all colors, holds no karma. It's just the sky. All it does is reflect. I don't know what this purple is, but it looks like rock, so I'm going to keep using it. Right now, in this early stage, it looks kind of like a free-for-all. And it is, because it's not come together yet. We're still figuring out what we're painting. So I remember the rock being gray. And I don't have a gray color, but I know I can make gray if I put a little time into it. Out of some of these colors. Purple, blue, a little bit of this red, and some of this brown. Yeah, that's how I make gray. And of course it's not really gray, it's not concrete, but it's gray with some life. I'm not getting the brush too wet so I can have some of that dry texture on there. Now, very important, the light comes, hits the rock, bounces off the rock into the water below, and makes a reflection. So, and the water is going to be a little dark, reflecting the sky. So the reflection's got to be a little darker than the actual rock itself. So, to grab all those colors again, but make it a little darker, like that. While I'm at it, I'm going to make parts of this a little darker too. Okay, now to give it something to relate to, it needs water. Now I'm going to start mixing color in the color I've already mixed because I want a general theme here. I want the colors all to know each other and work with each other. Do you see it yet? Do you see a rock popping out of the ocean? I do. I'm starting to see it. I mean, it's not quite the ocean, it's the sea. It's a little place, it's a cove. Near the ocean. Okay, so off here in the distance, on top of these cliffs, there's going to be some trees. Trees that just stand straight up, but they look like evergreens. They're evergreens. But they're foggy in the distance. So they don't have to be very detailed. And the paper is wet already. So that will help us. That'll help me, not us. Unless you're painting along, that would be swell. So, again, I'm mixing in the colors I've already mixed. Because I don't want it to stand out too much. I want it to, on one hand, show the likeness of a tree, but I don't want it to pop out too much. Put a little more blue in there. There we go. And like I said, this paper is wet already, so I can just let the wet paper help make these into trees. A little more green. There it is. Come on. Background. Does that give any context? Does that make you think, okay, there's a cliff back there. There's a cliff back there with some trees on it. Brown right there. Maybe there's a brown beach back here. Okay. And now, the same for the top of the rock. There's going to be some trees up there. Little trees, though, but evergreens, but not too crazy. So, same method as before, but more darker, much more darker. So I'm making a much darker green, because in the foreground it's darker, more detailed. In the background it's lighter, less detailed, more fuzzy. Okay, here we go. Let's see how well this... I think I might need a thicker brush. Yeah. Okay, it's not dark enough. There's so much water on here already that it's not dark enough and it needs help. A few of these. Splash of red. Don't know why. It just came to me. Might regret it later, but then again, it's only a painting. Hard cliff there. Hard cliff here. Some of these dark spots in there. tippy tops of the trees. It's getting somewhere. That was pretty bold, that purple. Okay, it's time for a break. I don't want to get too into it while the colors are sloshing around. I want to give it some room to breathe. Then I'll come back and do some detail. I'd like to play a song called Don't Go Messing with Karma, because karma does not affect this island. This island can show you. Or maybe karma does affect this island. I don't know. Maybe breaking away from the rest of the land meant that this island has to stay alone and has to suffer the wind and the rain all by itself. That could be one way to look at it, but I choose to look at it like karma doesn't mess with islands. Islands don't get what they deserve, so to speak. They just get what time gives them. Didn't anybody tell ya? Don't go messing with karma. It'll come around. Didn't anybody tell ya? Don't go messing with karma. It'll come around. Old man picking flowers for a funeral. Street choir singing hallelujah. A little smile through the pain. There ain't no wrong way to pray. Another sad heart looking for laughter. Another kid growing up a little faster. You want someone to trust you? Well, you've got to be true. Didn't anybody tell ya? Don't forget that love is all you came here for. Not anything less. Need I say more? Need I say more? Don't forget that love is all you came here for. Not anything less. Need I say more? Need I say more? Anybody tell you? Don't go messing with karma. It'll come around. Forgot the first part of the second verse. Who is to take away the union? You want something for yourself, give it to someone. True love. True love is the right of every human. It happens to me sometimes. Who is to take away the union? You want something for yourself, give it to someone else. Go around using God as a reason. What if all that you believe in and what you thought was right turned out to be just a lie? Didn't anybody tell you? Don't forget that love is all you came here for. Not anything less. Need I say more? Need I say more? Love is all you came here for. Not anything less. Need I say more? Need I say more? Yeah, it happens. Sometimes I forget the words, but I always remember them. The paper dried a little, and someday on this show, I thought it'd be nice to get a hair dryer and dry it off, but I'm afraid it'd be too loud. I don't want too loud sounds on this show, so I'm going to deal with it as is. It looks like there's a little hair right here too. I don't know how to get that out other than to pick it out when it fully dries. But I'm going to keep on working. Darker and smaller. To bring this island out of the mist, make it a little more clear. A little more clear. It's really wet right there. Long brush, thicker brush. Some rocks. Something for these waves to splash up against, yeah? Little shadows. Don't forget you have to put it back down in your reflection as well. And I'm okay if a whole hunk of this is dark, because what that does is it brings the eye right to it. Y'all want to look at those dark parts first. And then you want to explore around, look for other things in the painting that you missed at first because you were too busy looking at the dark parts. Just darkening this tree, giving it a little bit more attention, and hit this with a little I don't know what I hit that with. Maybe there's some sunlight poking through over here and it hit that. Who knows? Back to the dark. Back to the dark stuff. I can't help it, but I want to put a big blotch of blue right there. I don't know why, I just can't help it. Okay, let's work on the water a little bit, shall I? Cleaning my brush, something I have to always remind myself to do. Now, there's no technique here with this cleaning of this fixing up the water. I'm just, as long as there's some movement, I think it's good. do I try to make this cliff seem a little bit more like a cliff? And see what happens. Maybe there's another one behind it. Yeah, I'm glad I did that. Okay, now last but not least, I just need to give a little detail to some of these waves that are splashing up against these rocks. Just they're splashing up and they're doing something. They're spreading their white foam everywhere. They're spraying their suds, their ocean suds, their mist. The very end, that's when you can just go deep, straight into deep dark color. Not worry about mixing it too much. Just go right in, because now you're making just bold little color proclamations. Get a little movement. All right, I could do more, but I'm going to stop. Done. Let it dry and we'll see what happens when it dries. Okay? Now, just want you to know that even if you've never picked up a paintbrush before, you can paint. You just have to believe in yourself. Spend a little time. You can watch this show over and over again if you want, or there's plenty of other places to go. I highly recommend getting good products, good quality watercolors, good quality watercolor paint. And it takes a long time to get really good at it. I'm still working at it. But it can bring you a lot of joy in your life. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.